Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Let's Make a Mill, as well as my own personal blog, letsmakeamill.com. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Fidelity's zero cost total US stock market index, also known as FZROX, or I affectionately have been calling it FZROX. And I'm basically going to be telling you guys the pros and the cons and kind of what I'm using it for. For those of you guys who don't know who I am, I'm Eugene Vasquez. I'm basically using this channel to document my journey towards making $1 million. And I do that by investing in the stock market, investing in real estate. I have a dividend income portfolio that I've been building up on M1 Finance, and I've been investing in Fundrise. And I'm going to be investing in a couple other things here in the future. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So some specifics about FZROX. So FZROX is actually one of 4 brand new funds that Fidelity came out with in 2018 that are zero cost, zero fee, zero expense ratio funds, and they're only offered through Fidelity. These funds, you have the S&P, one that tracks the S&P 500 index, one that tracks the international stock index, one that tracks the small caps, and one that tracks the total U.S. stock market index. All right. FZROX is tracking large cap and medium cap stocks only. All right. Fidelity, for some reason, decided to just make the small caps its own fund. So, I mean, give or take, it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Like I said earlier, the fund inception date was October of 2018. So, with all that information, let's go ahead and dive in and talk about some pros and cons. So, here's one pro that I like about this index fund. It is zero cost, zero expense ratio, and zero fee, which means that when you buy this fund, when you buy into it, you're not paying any fees. All right. Typically for these other funds like from Vanguard or Schwab or ETFs even, you pay, and Fidelity has its own index funds as well and ETFs, but you'll be paying an expense ratio, right? Because somebody's managing it and someone's, moving things in and out and changing allocation, changing targets. So someone has to be paid for that. And that's what the expense ratio is. For this fund, it's zero cost. There's no cost to it. It's completely free, which is, kind of strikingly odd that a company would offer a product like this. But the reason why they're doing this is because they want to attract new business. They want to attract the younger crowd to their platform. And I've been a Fidelity customer for about maybe 4 years now, and I've been pretty happy with them. Their customer service is bar none. Anytime I need help, they always answer. I'm not being sponsored by Fidelity, but it's just something to think about. It holds, another pro is it holds 2,466 companies as of this video. It may change in the future, a little higher, a little lower. But as of this video, it's 2,466 companies versus a 3,500 company, versus the 3,500 companies a total U.S. stock market index would hold. That could be a pro, but that could also be a con. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Give or take, small caps, they typically go through a lot of churn, a lot of change. Companies come and go, and they drop off the index and come into the index. So that could be good, that could be bad. In my personal opinion, the actual effect it has on the entire index is probably very minute, very small. Another pro is that you don't need an account minimum to purchase this fund. I know with Vanguard, if you wanted to get into like VFIAX or VTSAX or something like that, you needed to have at least $3,000 in order to invest into that fund. All right. The same thing goes for Schwab. I'm not sure if they've removed any of the minimums yet, but it was just something that, something that I noticed. Fidelity has that as well for their other products. You need to have an account minimum of, I think it was like $1,000, $2,500. But with the new zero cost index funds that they've come out with, you need $0. You can start with something as low as $50, which is fantastic. All right. So now I'm going to talk about the cons. All right, let's talk about the cons of this fund. So for FZROX, one of the biggest cons that I find is that it only has a dividend release date of once a year. So it only pays out a dividend once a year, and that's annually, and that's every December. That could be bad for a lot of reasons. One, if you're getting close to retirement and you have a lot of money tied up in FZROX, you're not going to be getting a dividend every quarter, right? You're not going to be getting income every quarter. You're only going to get it once a year, right? And on top of that, depending on how that fund is performing, how FZROX is performing, if it's performing very well and the market's doing very well, you're going to be buying shares at a very high premium, right? Because the shares of the fund are going to go up and up and up, and then you're going to be buying at, a high price. On the flip side, and it might be a good thing, if the fund or the market was to crash or have a huge correction at the end of the year, then you'd be able to buy shares at a cheaper price, which could be good, right? So it's both good or bad, but it's really all dependent on your situation. Con number 2, FZROX is not a total U.S. stock market index, not a true total U.S. stock market index. All the total U.S. stock market indexes that I've come across, either on Schwab or Vanguard or even Fidelity has another version of that. There's also several ETFs out there. They typically hold 3,000 to 3,500 companies. 3,000 to 3,500 companies. Sorry, that just sounded weird. But anyways, they hold more companies. With FZROX, they're only holding about 2,500 companies, which could be bad, could be good. Like I said earlier, with small caps, they'll hit the index and then they'll fall off the index and be replaced with new ones. So that could affect the performance. But just in terms of what other indexes are doing, this index is just a little different, or this fund is just a little different. All right. So again, it could be a con, it could be a pro. It really all depends on your own research. Me, I find that I don't really care. So I don't really count it as a con for me, but I want to at least provide that information to you. All right. The third con that I find with FZROX is that it's only available as a mutual fund on Fidelity's brokerage account. So if you're not a Fidelity customer, you're not going to be able to get into this fund. You'll have to open up a Fidelity account and then fund that mutual fund, right? It's not available as an ETF. Like Vanguard has plenty of products. Fidelity has plenty of products. Schwab has plenty of products that are ETFs that are available on Robinhood, Webull, that are available on M1 Finance and all the other brokerages out there. But they are not, FZROX is not offered in any of that, and it's not offered as an ETF. So I count that as a con because, they're trying to appeal to the younger generation, and only if you sign up with Fidelity and open a brokerage account will you be able to take advantage of FZROX. All right. So with all that said, what is the deal with FZROX? How am I personally using it? So in my own opinion, in my own views, I believe Fidelity's zero cost total U.S. stock market index is a good contender against the other funds that are out there. Like I said earlier, I've been pretty happy with them. I'm invested into Fidelity's brokerage account, and I'm invested with Fidelity, and I do like their brokerage account. I do like their customer service. When I found the Fidelity zero cost index funds, I had to kind of change up my strategy. And then I turned it into kind of my core holding. So since it's zero cost, zero expense ratio, zero fees, I ended up using that as my core holding in my overall portfolio. So at one point, I had about $65,000 invested into that index fund, invested into the mutual fund. But then only recently, I had to withdraw about $60,000 so I could fund a purchase of real estate. But I still intend to stay with FZROX, and I still intend to invest with them. I believe I have about $10,000 or $11,000 cash value into FZROX right now currently. And at the end of this little section, I'll post a video. I'll log into my account and then show you exactly what I'm doing or how much I have in that account. So other than that, it's still for me a long-term hold, and I plan to continue to invest into FZROX. It does track pretty well, and again, zero cost, zero everything. So what's not to love about it? So hopefully this video will provide some value to you. But let's log into my Fidelity account so we could see kind of what I have and how much the cash value is at this moment. All right, guys, I just logged back into my Fidelity account, and as you can see, I have a cash value of $11,581 into this fund. I had $65,000 up until about maybe a couple of weeks ago when I withdrew it, so I could fund a real estate purchase. But going forward, I'm going to continue to invest in this fund. I do like it, and I do like that, you know, again, it's zero cost, and I don't have to have an account minimum in order to invest in them. So I'm going to keep investing with them. FZROX is going to continue to be my core holding, which means that, you know, relative to all my other investments, I'm hoping to get it in terms of stock. I'm hoping to get it to the largest position because I do believe in the U.S. stock market, and I do believe that, you know, over the long term, the U.S. stock market will return the, you know, average, which to me would be a good return on investment. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and finish out this video. So there you guys have it. You know, if you liked what you saw, please let me know down below in the comment section. If you guys have any questions, I don't mind answering them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this provided some type of value to you. And with that, you know, if you liked what you see, please hit the like. If you didn't like it, go ahead and hit the dislike. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. And again, please let me know your thoughts. I do enjoy making these videos, and I do like to hear you guys and see what you guys' thoughts are. All right. Until the next video, see you guys later.